welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence.
And I'm Meg Hoffdahl.
And today we're talking about the TV show Cruel Summer. Was this on Hulu?
Yeah. I think is it ABC Family?
Freeform.
Freeform, that's what it's called. It's not called
Yes.
ABC Family anymore. Sorry.
No,
I'm
I just remembered. No,
old.
that's fair. But yes, it's all coming back to me now. Meg, has it been a cruel summer for you? Is this a loaded question?
Ooh. I'm going to be positive and say no.
Guess what? It's not been as cruel as the summers in this show. Holy shit.
Holy moly. Like, who needs a pandemic when you have this shit going on?
I mean, my goodness. Okay, so here's what I love. It's set over 3 summers in the 90s, which, we were teenagers in the 90s.
Yeah.
Also, it's true crimey. There's some scares. There's some soapy sort of drama. It's female driven. Also, it's non-linear. Give it to me, inject it in my veins.
I know, I like that too. I really like right away I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And they do a good job of really, they give our main characters different hairstyles every time, so that is a little easier to jump in. Yep. And I think
helps us old ladies track.
Yes. And I think especially for the last one, I felt like the colors and everything were very stark and stuff. So you could kind of tell right away.
Now, we're about to get into spoilers. If you haven't seen this show, I recommend you watch it. Because we're about to spoil the crap out of it, and I don't want you to be like, well, why did you tell me that?
Yeah, because this is the kind of show where
it's all about the twist.
Completely blind. I didn't know anything, and I think that's the best way to watch it.
I agree, and I didn't even Google or read the description, so I would say do that, friends. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop listening. But Meg, tell us, who created this show?
This show was created by Bert V. Royal, but it's executive produced by Jessica Biel. And that was actually, interestingly enough, that kind of made me be like, okay, I'm going to give it a try because
she did that other show.
She did The Sinner.
Yeah, that was good.
And that was pretty decent. So I was like, okay. I don't know what made me click on it and, watch this show. I think I remember when we were in New York earlier in the summer, there was big billboards of it in Times Square, and I don't know, there was just something about it. I was like, oh, I'll just try it and see what it is, and I'm glad I did because
it was super fun.
It was really well done, and it had me wanting to watch the next episode, which is all you really want. It was just a really good binge. I definitely get the feeling that it's over, that it was one season.
One and done.
Yeah, which I like. It's kind of like that Korean drama.
Yes, I live for that. Mm-hmm. So, just the premise. Obviously, if you've seen it, if you still are listening, what are you doing? Because we're about to spoil it. But this girl, it sets it up that this girl is kind of obsessed with this other girl who's more popular, and shit's about to go down. And oh no, this other girl got kidnapped, and this girl knew, but she didn't tell anybody. And then now the tables are turned, and that girl's getting sued. I was like, what?
It's a soap opera,
and it's so good though. And I really appreciate that shows are doing this now. They would have abuse and grooming hotlines and PSAs at the end of every episode, because it does have this high school teacher who is a groomer.
Yeah.
And it's icky.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we find out definitely not apologizing or making excuses for that, but you find out that she actually wasn't kidnapped. She went there willingly. Gross.
I know.
Because he groomed her to believe it.
Relationship with him. Again, I mean, it's abuse, but it was interesting because
it's just
it made her feel guilty and she was to blame.
Right.
Which, was really important for how she was responding to things and her character.
And which is textbook grooming, manipulation, gaslighting, all of that. So definitely, friends, if you feel like that, look into that. And we've talked about it before on the podcast, but it added an interesting layer to their characters and about coming clean, and testifying in court about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because she had, obviously she felt guilty even though she didn't need to, but she was sort of hiding things. And it was, you had these two characters, and I think what was so sort of fun about it was that you were constantly trying to decide, like, whose side you were on, so to speak, or like who you felt empathy for. And they both, you know, at one time or another, you're like, oh my God, that person's evil. But then you would kind of bring it back and you'd be like, oh my God, I see why she did that, or why she responded that way. And I think that playing with that emotionally with those two main female characters it makes the stakes feel high, and it makes you care, and it makes you want to know more, because everything is unfolding, and it just had this really great pace and this tension.
It was like a flower opening up, or like levels or layers. And so, speaking of that, they also had these peripheral characters, which all ended up playing major roles, but of the other female friendships, or the male friendship, the family dynamics, like both of them had such complicated family dynamics. And like, holy crap, so good. You just kept feeling for this. I'm just like the popular girl, I'm saying quote unquote, because like you think, oh, she's got the perfect life, as you know, a lot of people assume in like the typical high school narrative, but like she thought her stepdad was cheating, but actually her mom was cheating, and
her mom's such a bitch.
Oh my God, what a horrible woman. And then her stepsister, and like that complicated relationship.
That was very complicated. And then the boyfriend.
Oh yeah, boyfriends. I didn't even mention him.
I know, Jamie. He was really caught in a bad place there, because he had like started to fall in love with Jeanette, and then Kate comes back. And he's like, okay. And then he goes to her. But then, you know, she had this, what she felt was a consensual relationship. We know that's not the case. But what she felt was a consensual relationship. And so, you know, that complicates anything she has going with Jamie. And then he ends up punching Jeanette, which again, they had things saying like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Which was good too.
Wait, can I interject for a moment?
Yeah.
That moment when they're like, oh my God, Kate, they found Kate, and how Jeanette reacted, she's like, who killed her? And they're like, no, she's alive. And it was like, oh, okay, well then we definitely know that she saw her or knew.
Right.
And then we think she didn't, but then the ultimate fucking twist is that she did.
I know.
Like, holy crap.
When that happened at the very, very end, and you're like, oh my God, that whole time, because you're like...
I know, you feel sorry for her.
There are times where you're like feeling sorry for her, and then there are times, like I have chills thinking about it, but there are times where you're like...
And she almost grabbed the doorknob, and she didn't, like...
Yeah.
What a bitch!
I know! She like totally was like, I'm gonna steal your boyfriend. You're here, and I'm leaving. And
all right,
like,
I'm cracking a beer.
Okay, it's all right.
There it is.
I really liked Harley Quinn Smith, and she referenced her dad's movies several times, which I thought was funny. And I really liked the other friend who had the secret boyfriend, and then like that got exposed, and then the boyfriend was mad, but then they eventually got back together, and it was like, hey, I love that. And he worked at a video store.
I love the high school drama. I love the soapiness of it. I love the 90s of it. I love, like I said already, the non-linearness of it, because if it was told linearly, like, who cares? But instead we get these snippets, and it's like, what is going on?
And it just, it makes you want to know what happened? Why are they reacting that way? Why do they have like this weird reaction to this or that?
And I love, hey, set it in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s, as we've been talking about Fear Street, or the 1600s. And guess what? You don't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And you can't like ping someone's last location.
Right.
So
yes, I love it.
It complicates things. And we're probably going to read a lot about that in your upcoming book, your Twisted Reveries, because it's Antique Tales.
Oh,
and does anybody have a cell phone?
Nobody has a cell phone. It was glorious. I was like, this is all taking place before cell phones, before landlines for a lot of the stories. So that definitely maybe I was lazy. Actually,
No,
now that
it's
I think
actually
of it.
it's perfect. No, there's nothing lazy about writing about the past. There's so much research.
That's true.
Speaking of research too, and pinging cell phones, our next book, which is available for pre-order, The Science of Serial Killers. Think about how much, and only recently, technology like DNA evidence and cell phone tracking and all of that. You can read more about it in our book, but think about how much that changed crime investigation and how much all of that could have even helped this case in this fictional show.
Right. Well, and how like serial killers had their heyday, but it's probably a lot harder to be a serial killer right now, which I think is a good thing.
Yes.
And this guy this high school teacher who ends up, ensnaring, let's see, his name's Martin, ensnaring Kate, like, they did a good job of casting him because he seems so innocuous.
So sweet and innocent.
Yeah.
And also, like, I know it's not okay, but, like, if he was my high school teacher, I'd be like, oh, he's so cute.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Like, I would have had a crush on him. And you understand. You have empathy for her. Like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, if I were in her situation, like, I would have a crush on him, too. But, of course, he completely abuses that. And he feels like, if things hadn't ended the way that they did, he just has a serial killer vibe.
Oh, yeah,
because, like,
gross.
once things turned and he realized that he was, like, maybe gonna get in trouble, then it was like that true part of him came out, and that was really scary.
And it was so icky when she's like she starts to mention the things that she misses and the things she would like to do, and he makes her feel guilty for that. And then when he quote unquote rewards her with like the pretzel from the mall, but it's cold, he makes her feel guilty for even like mentioning anything about it. It's just like, it's gross.
Icky.
It is 1000% textbook abusive, manipulative groomer behavior. So get out of these relationships, friends. Seek help.
Yeah, no kidding. If that looked familiar to you. What else? There's so much to unpack, because there was then her brother, who I was like,
oh my God.
Okay, so her brother, I was like, where have I seen this guy before? And then I realized he plays Kreese's younger self in Cobra Kai. I looked it up.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so I was like, oh, that's where I've seen him before.
Oh, okay, I did not get that. So, Meg, thank you.
Yes, he plays young Kreese in Cobra Kai. Anyway.
Oh, so also, Martin Cove's real son played the bully in the diner in the flashbacks with that dude. So,
well, there you go.
I think
See,
that's
there's
cute.
Your Cobra Kai trivia.
That's what you're here for, right, friends?
Yeah.
And this soapy teen drama?
Yes. That's what you all love, I hope.
Next, we're talking about Riverdale, so get ready. Actually,
no,
don't put us past us.
We have and we will again. Yeah. But yeah, I like he was sleeping with Kate's stepsister, and then that's how she got those transcripts.
Oh my God, I freaking love that moment.
Yeah. Or no, that's how he got the transcripts.
Yeah. But like, holy crap. And she thought she was talking, so layered.
Oh, yeah, it's so layered. And as screenwriters, I found it interesting. Like, how do you write
that's
so
what I want to know.
Non-linearly.
Yeah. No, I want to know that too, because I mean, obviously you need to figure it all out and then figure out how to piece it together. Yeah. So cool.
It was. And also, like, there was a lot to be said about, like, it wasn't really, in the end, there was some, like, romances and stuff, but it wasn't about romance. It was about, like, female friendship a lot.
Yeah. And mother-daughter relationships.
Yes, yeah. So it felt, and like kind of that idea of like how when you're friends and then sometimes you fall out of being friends because you want to be popular and all those kind of things. So that resonates, I think, with a lot of people, and they've been on either side of that. And the whole concept of like Kate's mom was the popular one and Jeanette's mom wasn't, and she's like still trying to like be in the popular crowd, 20 years later. And so,
and also these step parents or like step boyfriend girlfriend relationships, like all of that too. Like,
I know
it was so much. It was so well done.
And just this intrigue and this tension, and it's not horror certainly, but it's that true crime suspense, and you feel like people are in danger. Yeah. And you know that the Martin guy is going to die, and you don't know how he's going to die.
Yes.
And
that was such a gut-wrenching, pivotal moment, and like disgusting, and so like it just made me feel so viscerally for her.
Yes.
And also, like, he, even to the last, he's making her feel guilty about it.
Yeah. He's
making her feel guilty for being locked in a basement.
I know, right?
Oh.
Men.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, let's rank this show. Listen, if you haven't watched it and you're still listening, I don't know what you're doing.
We ruined it.
Yeah, but we're still gonna rank it. What's the scale? Oh my god, it has to be the necklace, right? You Go Girl necklace.
Oh, and it was so 90s. It was so 90s. We all had something like that.
0 being you hate it, 10 being you think it's a perfect TV show. How many You Go Girl necklaces do you give Cruel Summer?
I'm gonna give Cruel Summer 8 because I thought it was fun, it was soapy, it actually was like surprisingly earnest and serious too, and I think it had something to say, and it was female driven, and I liked it.
I'm also giving it an 8. And you know, when you were saying this, now last week I talked about how I like a lot of shows because there's a ship in it, and I'll recommend it to you because of a ship. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I mean, there's relationships, but I actually didn't care about any of them. I wasn't like, oh my god, I hope they get together. Yeah. No, I was watching it for the plot alone. Yeah. I think that's actually, like, says a lot.
That does. That probably means it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe I should give it
and
more.
And we're not being blinded by like, oh
my god, he's so cute. You know, I think that does say a lot. So
I think it does.
Okay, I told you this the other day, and I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone. I told you, you know what? I finished Mare of Easttown, and I feel like Mare of Easttown is a grown-ups version of Cruel Summer, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Okay.
So
I should
watched the entire thing. Okay. I enjoyed the frick out of it.
Okay.
Evan Peters.
Oh, he's a cutie.
I mean, now I'm going.
So now we're going back to.
I've reverted back to.
Cute guys.
Yeah, but Evan Peters is in it. Obviously,
Evan, what was
that? Kate Winslet is amazing. There's so much freaking drama, and the Pennsylvania accents. Like, tune in for the Pennsylvania.
I don't know if I know a Pennsylvania accent.
Oh, get ready. Tune in for the Pennsylvania accents. Stay for the twists.
Okay.
It's so good. Like,
I'll have to watch.
When I first started, I'm like, oh, it just seems like, you know, your typical show. I'm doing the Pennsylvania accent right now. Guess what? You think like, oh, this must be the last episode, or this is how it's going to end, and then it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It's like, it's like layers. Like, it's like levels, just like Cruel Summer.
Okay.
Watch it immediately.
All right. I will.
You won't regret it.
No, I think I'll like it. I like that kind of stuff.
Have you heard of this show? I don't know if it has anything to do with horror. White Lotus?
Well, I saw like the thing. You know how like this is only old people do this now, but like Luke and I like turned on the TV and there was something like, you know, on the banner it said White Lotus, and we're like, there's too many shows.
Yeah.
You know, because like
no, that appeared on ours, and I'm like, what the frick is that? Yeah. But then I saw people tweeting about it, and they're saying it's amazing. Okay. I don't know.
I saw somebody tweeting about it too, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's good to just go into these, like Cruel Summer. I went in so blind.
I went into Maude. Sorry.
You mean Mare?
Mare.
Yeah.
I started watching Maude with B. Arthur.
With B. Arthur.
I went into Maude blind.
Wow.
There's just too many TV shows. I'm going back.
I know, right? Like, okay, you do you. But yeah, I mean, maybe we should just watch White Lotus and report back, and we'll tell you if there's horror in it.
Yeah. This has just become like podcast roulette. Like, you don't know what's going to happen week to week on Horror Rewind.
You really don't. You really don't. I think the only thing that is guaranteed is that we're going to objectify some man.
Oh my Lord.
And we weren't able to do it with Cruel Summer, so we brought in Evan Peters.
But you know what?
What?
I think he's cute.
Spoiler
So
alert.
sue me.
No, I won't sue you. But that's the only thing you can rely on here at Horror Rewind. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Listen, we hope you are having an amazing week in August.
Not
Be
a cruel
safe.
summer.
No, not a cruel summer. Also better than Mare of Easttown's whole trajectory. Lord help us. No spoilers, but you know, there's a lot of shit that a lot of people go through in that show.
Oh,
but it's worth it.
Yes.
Evan Peters. So until next time, we'll see you in the horror section.
Bye.